Okay, today I'm going to talk to you about stem cells. We're going to talk about what stem cells are. We're going to look at stem cells in animals and stem cells in plants. We're going to have a look at the medical uses of stem cells and some of the barriers to being able to use stem cells in medicine as well. So first of all, stem cells are cells which are described as being undifferentiated or unspecialized. This just means that they don't have a specific job yet. They have the ability to become, or potential to become, a number of different types of cell. So first of all, we're going to have a look at what differentiation means. So in our bodies, we have lots and lots of different types of specialized cell which could do different jobs. So a stem cell is a cell which is unspecialized, a cell which currently has no job. It can become different types of cells depending on what it's given instructions to do within the body. So for example, it could become a neuron in order to carry electrical signals. It could become some cardiac muscle in the heart. It could become a red blood cell, or it could, for example, become a ciliated cell. So there's lots and lots of different types of specialized cell in the body, and they all have particular jobs. The stem cell is the undifferentiated, unspecialized version that we get at the beginning. So one type of stem cells is called embryonic stem cells. Now, embryonic stem cells come from embryos. That's the name of the ball of cells, the developing ball of cells that will become a fetus and then a baby. So just after fertilization, we have an embryo, and all of those cells are unspecialized. They have the potential to become any type of cell in the body. So literally any type. That's one type of stem cell. The other type of stem cells are called adult stem cells. So they're found in the body, and essentially adult stem cells are used in order to produce a narrow range of cells to replace damaged cells. So adult stem cells are slightly less useful because they have a limited kind of different options of what they can become, whereas embryonic stem cells can become anything at all. They're found, for example, adult stem cells in the bone marrow. Now, it's not just animal cells that have stem cells. Plants also have stem cells called meristems. So the big clue that stem cells, it has the word stem in it. So I'll just show you where these stem cells are found. So if we imagine I just have a little plant here, there's the plant above the ground, and this is obviously the roots below the ground. So we find meristems in the tip of the root and within the tip of the shoots. So these meristems can become any type of cell, any type of plant cell. So they're, this can happen throughout the lifetime, throughout the whole lifetime of the plant. So an example of specialized cell in a plant could be, for example, xylem and phloem, which transport substances around the plant. So at these parts here, the tips of the shoot and the tips of the root, this is where we find meristems, which are undifferentiated, unspecialized plant cells. So what's the big deal about stem cells? How can they actually be used? So their potential uses are, for example, in sickle cell anemia. Now this is when someone's born with a condition where their red blood cells are misshapen. If they can have adult stem cells put within their bone marrow, those cells can produce healthy red blood cells, which is really useful. Stem cells in the future could be used for spinal cord injury. Now this could be extremely important. If someone has a spinal cord injury, they might well be paralyzed. If we could put an undifferentiated stem cell into their spinal cord, they could develop and grow neurons, develop into neurons, which could replace the damage. It could also be used for heart disease. So if part of the heart has been killed or died because of disease, we could potentially use stem cells which would develop into cardiac tissue. So there's lots of potential uses. Lots of different types of injury or cells could be just replaced by using stem cells. So what's the problem? Why aren't these just used now? So problems, first of all, big problem is ethics. Because embryonic stem cells come from embryos, which are the ball of cells that will develop into a fetus and then a baby. So lots of people say it's not right to be able to use embryonic stem cells because a lot of people suggest that it's like taking a life because that embryo would develop into a person. So there's a lot of ethical issues around using embryonic stem cells, which are the more useful type of stem cells. Also, a big problem is tumours. Because if we've introduced a stem cell and we want it to divide, it's very difficult to control that division. It could just keep dividing and dividing and dividing and form a tumour, which could cause big, big problems. Next up is disease. If for whatever reason, somehow there was a virus within a stem cell and we implanted it in someone's body, we'd be giving them that particular disease. And the final problem is rejection. If we put a stem cell or stem cells into someone's body, their body may well recognise it as being foreign and try to destroy it. The white blood cells might try and break it down. So the stem cells may well be rejected. So that is basically the summation. That is stem cells summarised. I hope this has been useful. Thank you.